Very interesting, Claire. Is it fair to say that everyone in the audience who works in the field should know the principal messages about their own organizations?
Absolutely, Peter. I think in any organization, it's important for people to all be on the same page and to understand what the organization is focusing on and what's important. In a mission-driven organization, that's all the more important, to have everyone being able to carry forth that message to everybody they're talking about. So if someone's role is to be speaking to donors, it's important that when they're talking, that they're using the same language and the same emphasis that that donor will see when they go to the website to find out what it's all about. Or when they pick up the newspaper tomorrow and they see a story and a quote from the president of the organization, these things should all tie together. You want them following you on social media. And the more there's the steady drumbeat of a message, the more it's going to punch through.
Well, that's also fascinating, Claire, and it leads us well to your paper. And let's turn to that for just a second. Now, you write about harnessing the tools of contemporary communication and you take a comparative look at successful campaigns in related fields to ours. Why did you take that approach, and how does that work?
Well, I think there's a lot to be learned from looking at organizations that have done it successfully. And so I looked at a range of groups from blood diamonds to ivory trade to cultural antiquities, and tried to highlight those similarities and differences between them so that people could get a sense of what works and what doesn't work. So if you look at the conflict diamonds, for example, this was an issue that was not something that was, I would say, not only not widely understood, but perhaps not understood at all until Global Witness put out a report in the late 1990s that revealed the connection between diamonds and the funding of the civil war in Angola. And prior to that, I would say there were probably a lot of people to whom that message resonated who couldn't have pointed to Angola on a map. But that didn't mean that they wanted to be supporting a civil war. And so the message really had a lot of impact.
Well, thank you. I wanted to say thank you, too. In your paper, you do cite some of the work that we've done at the Antiquities Coalition and some of our successful public awareness campaigns. And now I want to dig in a little bit, and let's look more closely at the ivory trade, which is a great example. Many of us and many of the people watching can remember when ivory was a common presence in homes and in collections, and not seen as a commodity that was literally ripped from the skulls of elephants. The NGO Wild Aid led the charge there. What did they do to succeed?
Well, you're right, Peter. That was something, again, that ivory was something beautiful, coveted, maybe a little exotic, and had no negative connotations with it because no one gave a second thought to where it came from. And Wild Aid changed that, and they did not pull any punches. They had the courage really to show some very troubling pictures, and they made clear that ivory was being taken at the cost of literally, slaughtering elephants, and it had a huge impact. But they also did some other things. I mean, they were willing to do this, maybe slightly daring, very bold move by using these troubling pictures, but they coupled that with partnering with a broad range of people. So whether it was Jackie Chan or Richard Branson, so a broad spectrum of people that had a lot of credibility with various audiences, and they harnessed that credibility to tell their story.